Farm Manager 2018 tips. Try to put your machines near where they will work. When I first started, I was just putting garages up in the corner somewhere, but you want the tractors to be near the farms, for example. You want the workers, if you have greenhouses, they're going to be living near the greenhouses, etc. Try to put workers near where they work. So you have some buildings like a warehouse has to store things, and you have a production facility. The production facility doesn't have workers going in and out all the time, so it doesn't need to be near the houses. But if they are working in the greenhouses, or in some cases they'll work on the farms, you want the workers' homes to be close to where they work. And you want the warehouses to be close to where the food comes from. Try to centralize your buildings. It'll make trips to farmland shorter. So what you can do is you could put all your warehouses in the middle and build the farms around it. That's just an example. When I start out, I usually put the farms on the left side and all the buildings on the right side. Not the most efficient. Keep storage near crops for faster transport into storage. So the tractors will transport into the storage. People will put your storage near the crops and try to match the storage for the type of crops. For example, your frozen storage doesn't need to be near your crops. It needs to be near your juice factory. Keep storage near crops. During winter, do as many repairs on machines as possible. I used to spend all winter long repairing my machines, and they never made it through the summer. Try to have a plan for what to do during winter months. So you want to repair the machines as much as possible when winter begins, because they're not going to be working. Well, they could do some work. Try to have food production during the winter with facilities that are not seasonal, which would include greenhouses, animals, etc. Hire seasonal staff when winter ends. You got to go and hire all the seasonal staff. Build greenhouses. Some machines are used less often. Place them in the parking areas furthest away from the crops. Place frequently used machines like tractors in the spaces closer to or adjacent to the crops. Anything that gets towed should be further away. Anything that's a tractor or combine that has an engine in it should be closer to the crops because they're always going to be running more often. Any buildings that do not move goods in or out or machines in or out can be placed far away along the edges. That includes the building that you live in. Maybe the silage could be built far away. Um, I would put the silo. I put the silos in all the little tiny gap spaces. Try to hire more tractor drivers. You will need them. If your tractor drivers are busy working on a field, then no one can drive your tractor. So you got to have a lot of tractor drivers. If a production facility cannot produce enough from what you have grown, either buy another production building or do not grow those crops in the following year. So if you produce a fruit and make juice, but you produce too much fruit, make another juice building or cut back on your production, grow something else. Some crops require special tractors or trailers. It might get costly. I believe the combines are expensive, but I don't remember. I haven't played the game in a while. Once you begin a harvest, if you interrupt it, you will likely lose the harvest. And when I say likely, I mean definitely. A small farm will work well with small equipment. You don't need to buy the big tractors at the beginning of the game, so don't buy them. Buy the small tractors as long as they'll do the work that you need. If you have to rehire seasonal staff, you have to rehire seasonal staff every year. At the end of the fall, they're going to be gone. There's not going to be a notice saying, by the way, they all left. You'll just not know. Have a few greenhouses or animal pens so you can work growing food year round. Don't only harvest one food crop. Have some that grow quickly and some that take longer to grow so it's done more easily. And ideally, you want to plan where they're placed so that The ones that grow quickly, maybe you want to plant them faster so you can harvest them faster. And the ones that take longer, uh, you harvest them later because you don't want to hire so many people. You want to have the same crew and the same tractor harvesting multiple fields. If you're producing something such as juice, use the auto trade feature. The auto trade feature is really good when you're doing anything that creates a finished product because you don't want to have to spend time. I know that it's going to get boring and you're going to say I got a lot of free time, but there's going to come a point where you're going to miss a sale because food expires. So you want to use the auto trade. You have no reason to have juice sitting around. Maybe you want the to wait for the prices to go up, but if you don't want to, then you should use the auto trade at least when you're starting out to get that cash to come in. Okay, that's it. If you have any other questions, I have a Farm Manager 2018 forum at cheapbooks.cc, or you can go to my video game website, which is right here. I believe I have a Farm Manager 2018 section. Oh, you know what? It's not here, but we'll get one. We'll get some games listed over here under the farming section. I'll put Farm Manager 2018. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.